It is no surprise that there is so much mystery and secrecy surrounding the occult. After all, the word means to hide, conceal, and secret. But over time, there are certain symbols linked to the occult that have become less and less of a secret. And in this episode of FTD Facts, I'm exploring 10 surprising occult symbols that exist. Hey guys, welcome back to FTD Facts. My name is Leroy Kenton, and every culture that you can think of has some sort of occult practice, symbol, or belief. And now this episode won't be an exhaustive look at these symbols, but it'll definitely shed a lot of light on them. But before we continue, leave a like on this video as well as subscribe and ring that bell if this is your first time here to FTD Facts. That way you'll be notified of future episodes like this. All right, so let's jump right into this episode. Starting at number 10, we have Baphomet. Now, the image of Baphomet was originally created back in 1854 by the occultist Eliphaz Levi for his book Dogmas and Rituals of High Magic. But even before this depiction, Baphomet was a deity that the Knights Templar were accused of worshipping, and then it was incorporated into the occult and mystical traditions. Now, the name Baphomet appeared in the trial transcripts for the Inquisition of the Knights Templar, starting back as early as 1307. And the symbol reflects a number of principles that are considered to be fundamental to occultists, and it was influenced by Kabbalah, Hermeticism, alchemy, as well as other beliefs. Now, Baphomet as a goat face in an inverted pentagram is also a very popular occult symbol. Number 9, we have the Tetragrammaton. Now, you wouldn't really think that this next one would have anything to do with the occult, but it actually does. So God is called by many names in Hebrew, and the word Tetragrammaton is a Greek word that means word of 4 letters. And it was one of the names that the Jews would write down, but they would not pronounce it. It was considered to be too holy to be said by anyone. Now, early Christian transliterators, they pronounced this name Jehovah from the 17th century and beyond. And by the time we got to the 19th century, the word was retransliterated into the word Yahweh. So the letters that make up the Tetragrammaton are Yod, He, Vah, and He. Now in English, they're commonly written as YHWH or JHVH. It's got the J and the Y as well as the V and the W can be translated into the same pronunciation. Now, occultists based in Judeo-Christian mythology consider the Hebrew names of God such as Adonai and Elohim to hold a lot of power in them, but none of them hold as much power as the Tetragrammaton. And in the occult, God is most commonly represented by the Tetragrammaton. And even occultists believe that, you do not say this word. There's so much power in it and people don't even understand the power that is in that word. Even Aleister Crowley was like, this word is very powerful. But now moving on to number 8, we have the Rosy Cross. The Rosy Cross is often associated with a number of different schools of thought, including the Golden Dawn, the Thelema, the OTO, as well as the Rosicrucians, also known as the Order of the Rose Cross. Now, each of these groups have a different type of interpretation of the symbol, and they use it in different ways, but this shouldn't be a surprise because magic, as well as occult and esoteric symbols, are often used to communicate different ideas that you can't really express just in speech. There's often a whole world when it comes to symbols. So every single group, of course, is going to have a different perspective. Now, a pentagram is displayed at the end of each arm of the cross, and now each of these pentagrams bears a symbol of 5 elements. There's a wheel for spirit, there's a bird's head that symbolizes air, the zodiac sign for Leo, which is a fire sign, and the zodiac symbol for Taurus, which is an earth sign, and then there's a zodiac symbol for Aquarius, which is a water sign. This next one probably doesn't come as a surprise to many of you, but the pyramid is here. Now, the pyramid is a key symbol in Freemasonry and reported to be a symbol used by the Illuminati. And this is especially when it's depicted with a separated capstone. So in certain occult circles, the all-seeing eye is thought to refer to a great divide among the people. Now, each level or step of the pyramid represents a socioeconomic class, and the capstone with the eye eye represents the most elite and their elevated status among the rest of humankind. The Tree of Life is also a very popular occult symbol. It's also called Etz Chaim in Hebrew, and it's a common visual depiction of the 10 Sephirot of Kabbalah. Each Sephirot represents an attribute of God through which he manifests his eternal will. Now, the Tree of Life doesn't represent a single sort of system or anything like that, but it can be applied to the formation and existence of both the physical as well as metaphysical worlds, as well as to one's own soul and state of being or understanding. On top of that, different schools of thoughts like Kabbalistic Judaism as well as modern Western occultism also offer different interpretations of the symbol. Halfway in at number 5, we have this one here, the evil eye. The evil eye is a curse that is believed to be cast when you give an evil glare, and it's usually given to a person when they are completely unaware that it's happening. Now, many cultures believe that receiving an evil eye will cause misfortune or some sort of injury, so be careful out there, guys. The evil eye is often sold as jewelry, decoration, among other things, and it was said to be created to protect people against the evil eye or evil spirits. Number 4 brings us the hieroglyphic monad. Now, this is a symbol that was created by John Dee and described in Monas Hieroglyphica, or the hieroglyphic monad, back in the year 1564. Now, this symbol is intended to represent the reality of the monad, which is a singular entity from which all material things are said to come from. Now, the symbol is constructed from 4 distinct symbols. There's the astrological signs for the moon and the sun, as well as the cross, and the zodiac sign of Aries, the ram, represented by 2 semicircles at the bottom of the glyph. The symbol at number 3 is the seal of the truth of God. The sigillum de Emeth, or the seal of the truth of God, is most widely known through writings and artifacts from John Dee, who was a 16th century occultist as well as an astrologer in the court of Elizabeth I. Now, while the symbol does appear in older texts, Dee was actually not happy with them, and so it's believed that he gained guidance from an angel to construct his own version of the symbol. And now, Dee's system of angelic magic, known as Enochian, is heavily rooted in the number 7, and it's a number which is strongly connected to the 7 traditional planets of astrology. So with this, the Siligum de Emeth is primarily constructed of heptagrams, which are 7-pointed stars, and heptagons, which are 7-sided polygons. Now let's take a look at the created universe symbol. Occultists of the Renaissance period, they offer contradictory views of the created universe, and there was a sort of common sense struggle between spirit and matter, where material things are imperfect and contrary to spiritual things, as per modern Christian teachings. And now the illustrator and occultist Robert Flood often promoted this view as well, and because Christianity envisions God as a tripartite being, we have the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, all united within a single Godhead, the triangle is commonly used as a symbol for God. Now, the upper triangle of this whole symbol here, with a tetragrammaton in the middle of it, symbolizes the totality of God. And in the lower triangle, we see 3 circles in it. Now, with the center being a solid mass, and then the solid mass is actually physical reality, and the circles represent the 3 realms. There's physical, celestial, and angelical. And finally, the occult symbol at number 1 is the lightning bolt. Yeah, this one was very surprising to me. So satanic worshippers identified this as 777, and this was made popular by Aleister Crowley, who wrote the Guide to Witchcraft and Satanic Worship. It's said that Aleister Crowley hated God so much that he named himself 777. Why? Because 666 was already taken. Now, Aleister Crowley's instructions to his followers was that they should learn to speak as well as write and walk backwards so that they can open themselves up to hear the demonic world speak to them. You'll also notice this lightning bolt symbol in the form of the letter S as well. And this is simply because when Lucifer was kicked out of heaven, he fell out of heaven like lightning. And this is according to Jesus in the New Testament of the Bible. symbol. And in satanic circles, the symbol represents the destroyer, which Satan is called. Alright guys, so that wraps up this episode on 10 surprising occult symbols that exist. And let me know, were some of these occult symbols new to you, or did you know all of them? Sound off down below. I'd just love to hear your thoughts and comments about anything that I mentioned in this episode as well. Now guys, before I head on out, I'm going to be replying to some of your comments that you left, specifically on a video that we did titled 10 Most Popular Gods That People Worship. So let's jump into those comments right now. Now, the first comment comes from Malcolm Baxter, and he says, FTD Facts, I'm loving the trends of gods and stuff that you're covering and explaining. Keep it up. Good job. And I know a lot of you guys have been asking about do things more related to God and spirituality, and asking for us to do videos about different beliefs, because there's so much to talk about. So I'm really glad that you guys are actually enjoying this, and if it's something that you want to see more of, keep letting me know below in the comment section. Definitely a lot of these videos are based on what you guys are suggesting. Now the next commenter is Super Syed, and he says, God is someone who created everything. Simple. Well, that depends on your definition of God, because in some spheres, the God with a lowercase g actually means a type of ruler, or just someone who's given an elevated status in society. Like for example, the famous Indian cricket player Sachin Tendulkar, he's called the god of cricket. Not that he's a god that created people or anything, but he played the game so good that it was like he was elevated above anyone else in the world of cricket. So in that sense, you can see that the term God can be used in many different ways, not just referring to the belief in a creator God. Alright, so now let's see what 11 Starfire had to say. You left out one very, very important god that people have worshipped since before Zeus and still openly worship today. Money. And honestly, this was probably one of the realest comments that I've seen in a while, because yeah, it's so true. I was thinking about this, I'm like, how am I gonna respond to this? And then I was looking, I'm like, yeah, we say the terms all the time. I need money, I need money. Oh my God, I don't have any money. And then it's like money becomes our God. But I'm like, didn't humans create money? Money is actually a tool. It's a medium of exchange. We created it. We got power over money. So great comment, man. Definitely made me think a lot more. Alright guys, so that's it for me. I'm going to be heading out, but before you guys head out, I'm going to be leaving you with a related video. It's going to be coming up right now, so definitely stay tuned until the end screen. I don't want you to miss that one. Alright guys, it's been great hanging out with you and chit-chatting in this episode. I'll see you next time.